Alright. Yeah, I got my glasses on. I'm trying to take care of my tools. I'm multitasking right now. Got some dents in the blade. I had to get them out of there. Now I'm working on honing it again. Tools don't work for you. You got to take care of them, otherwise they ain't going to work for you. So, alright, we got a little problem in the stock market right now. That's why I say diversification. So if you are in the stock market, then now you understand which stocks you have can withstand certain kind of fluctuations and still bring in profit. Although there's going to be, it's going to rally. And most people invest based on their emotions. So there's going to be a rally and it's going to come back. And I'm still, in a learning process. So it's just naturally I'm falling back towards my basic instincts that got me into this to begin with. And so I'm like, all right, because there's going to be another crash. There's all the research that I've been doing in history and in corporations is showing me that there's going to be another crash. You can't have 0% interest rates and the government putting all this money to stabilize people without it creating inflationary shit happening. I'm not just talking about one person saying things. I'm just talking about all my knowledge and everything that I have. So, the holidays might help things a little bit, is what I'm thinking. Giving the stimulus packages out a little bit later than giving them out right now, because the holiday seasons are generally one of the money makers for many businesses out there. That's a lot of their livelihood generally depends on, or a lot of their profits, everything depends on. And so I'm thinking that there's going to be another crash, and it's probably going to be worse than this little one that we're having right now. And so what I'm going to do, I'll still do my little bit of mids and a little bit of days, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards more long-term solid things that I know are necessary to survive. There are certain things that are necessary to survive. Certain basic needs that people have to have, are going to want to have, based on what they need or what they want. Because need and want are two different things. So I generally don't get what I want, although I could say I do get what I want because I generally get what I need. And what I need is to stay alive. And I've done a very good job at coming back from dead like 5 fucking times. So I feel sorry for them people that put all their eggs in one basket, lose it all, and jump out of a 30-story building because they lost their wife, their dog, their children, or everything they figure. So most people only have what they have because they have what they have. Most people are not with somebody because they like who they are. Most people are with somebody for security, safety, not because of who you are, except who you are. They're not with you because of food. So, pretty much everybody you know is fake. Stop feeding your dog. See how long he sticks around. I'm gonna get into some gold because I'm quite certain once it's down right now, but once this fucking bubble pops, bursts, see, I mix two words at one time. It's one of the things about schizophrenics, they do that. Oh, I can handle my shit, trust me. I got enough beer and weed, I can do that. I don't take that other bullshit. But I might be crazy, but I'm not. I'm abnormal. I'm not wingnut. Yeah, my eyes are starting to fuck with me a little bit. I guess deterioration. Maybe all the mistakes I've made in life are resulting in that. I don't like using crutches, but I can delude myself and say it's a tool. All right. So. Trying to keep the right angle. Just got done using the sidewalk to get the dents out of it. I had an issue the other day that resulted in it getting kind of injured, I guess. Said you gotta take care of your tooth. Otherwise they can't take care of you. So why spend $10 on a sharpening stone when find all kinds of stones that have many different coarse natures to them. There's a couple around me that I could use for a really fine honing of my tool. So, you gotta take care of your tools. And people, and babies, whether they're animals or people, or plants, whatever. So, yeah, there's going to be another crash. September now. Might happen just before the holidays. Should probably be actually, in a way, better. Well, if you know anything about the stock, well, if you know how to be diversified, make sure you got cash and your stuff in many different places. And as long as I hear that scratching sound, it's not ready to change that. Once it evens out, then I know that I can switch up to a different stone with less coarse material on it. But as long as you're diversified, you can see. Make sure for your long-term investments are old school, basic necessities that, moving materials, curing materials, and all those things are going to be needed and desired. Put your money in that, but as in with gold, as in with anything else, when you feel that bubble's about to burst, I'm already got some stuff to sell off Tuesday morning. I'm just going to sell it all off. I'm going to sell it all off. I'm going to invest in a couple other different things that I know are going to be solid and can weather the storm and are going to climb. And when they start maturing enough to the point where I'm thinking that, all right, it's going to start dropping. I'm not going to wait until it goes to the moon or apexes. I'm going to get rid of it before that. And then I'll just sit on my return. I won't buy any more stocks or anything else, especially the gold. When the gold bubble's about to burst, I'm definitely going to bounce off that and just take the money and sit on it and wait for that bubble to burst, and then I'll reinvest everything I got back in the stocks when the economy starts improving a little bit more. And then I'll be in a very good position in a few years. Maybe make a very good 300-400% return or something possible. Even 200, it doesn't matter. But this is going to happen, and the market fluctuates. It always has, it always will. What you got to do is know the history of this country, know the history of the economy, and it's not hard to figure this kind of stuff out. That's why I say everybody allows their emotions to dictate their choices and actions, and I'm still working on it. I mean, there's a couple times I sold off after a week of work on some things just to break out just above even, because I got emotionally tired of it. I wanted to allocate my resources somewhere else, even though I knew deep down that there was going to be a significant change. And one day, sold off everything just above my buy-in, and the next day everything shot up a little over $1 a share. So I lost a significant amount of money doing that, although I did buy into something, which is ironic because I'm going to have to sit on this one a little bit longer than expected, although it's going to have a major payoff. So it's my emotions messing with me, because payoff on what I'm going to get is going to be much more significant than what I could have got, although I could have waited one more day, made a nice payout, and then still got into this and did the same thing at about the same price in my buy-in. I actually bought in more, which increased my buy-in, because I know this is going to be a money maker. I just got to sit on it for a while. But they say hold the bag for a little bit, but I know what's going to happen with it, so I already know. So I just can't allow my emotions to dictate. I'm just working with limited funds right now, so I'd say I need more zeros. So at least I know how to live cheap. If I don't drink too much. Now I got a woman, and well, that's complicated. So at least I ain't got 10 this time. Just one I'm working on. But she's gonna take some training, so I had to give her some space. I can only have Jesus. Oh God. Yeah, she likes me a lot. Just say that. I needed a break, and so did she. So I'm not used to living in a box anyhow. 3 days in a box. Oh, Lord have mercy. It is. She's like a little schoolgirl or so. I can't believe I'm acting like this. Whatever. So, yeah. But yeah, so just consolidate your shit. Make sure you're diversified. And be prepared. Make sure your tools work. Because you never really know what's going to happen out there. You never fucking do. Man, I look like a dumbass wearing glasses. I don't like to compensate for things. I think I'm about ready to see. That's why I got the glasses on, so I can see the lines on here. See what I'm working with. It's almost there. A little bit more with this one, and then I can switch to a finer one. You got to take care of your tools. Very important. Plus, it's giving. You can do this, and it helps me think. So, just beware And gold is pretty cheap right now. I'd suggest not put all your eggs in one basket, although buy a few shares of gold. Get it between 10, 30 bucks some places. Maybe Barracks or something. Something's like 20 something right now. So I would suggest doing that, and at least partially, just have something to cover your ass, because shit really does go to shit. Then that stock will increase potentially 1,000%. If you do your research, see, but when that bubble's about to pop, you gotta sell it. Otherwise, you'll be back down to where you started at. You gotta do your research, stay on top of your game every day. Even when the market's not open, that's the days you study and you fucking research. So, I gotta do my entrenching tool too before I break out the smaller ones. I just can't sharpen these too much because I attach them to my backpack, and people give me hugs and shit. Women and other people give me hugs when they see me. And they touch my shit, they're gonna cut themselves. So I gotta always warn them. This is pretty badass. It's American made, reproduction from, I think, Cold Steel. It's a Russian Special Forces entrenching tool. I mean, I was gonna get the American one, although anything with moving parts, being all the mechanics training I got, anything with moving parts breaks eventually. It's constant maintenance. So this, if the handle was to break, easily replaced, the right piece of wood, and you're all good. So and they actually train their special forces to be proficient with throwing these from like 10 feet away. I'm pretty good from 5 to 6 feet, but off a pretty hard tree, which they'll heal from it. I'm not hurting them too bad. I get a good 3/4 or an inch of penetration into a nice solid tree from like 5 to 6 feet. I work on getting better at it. But yeah, it's a very effective tool for digging or neutralizing or securing safety or food or whatever. So easy to fix, very effective. It's like Americans spent like $1 million on creating. Our country spent $1 million creating a pen that could write in zero gravity. You know what the Russians did? They used a fucking pencil. Spend a fucking $1 million on a pen that can write in zero gravity when you got a fucking pencil. I mean, really? Sometimes basics better. So try not to overthink things. I have a habit of doing that. Stick to the basics. And if you want to play, do your day trading, some midterm shit, make sure that's not the bulk of what you're relying on. Stay diversified in everything you do. So, peace out, everybody. I got stuff to do and things and stuff. Oh yeah, and I support the right to arm bears. There's a bear market out there. It's gonna be right now. Although, the Bulls will be back in the game as always. So, personally, I'm Northern stock. I don't know. I'm more bearish, but I consider myself more of a wolf. Can't be a vampire. I mean, they want to be too pretty. I can pretty up, but fuck that. Too many scars for that shit.